The time is now to architect a life of excellence. What will we do? Who will we become? We decide today. This is Learn, Do, Become Radio with April and Eric Perry. Let's move onward and upward together.
Hi, and welcome to Learn, Do, Become Radio. I'm April Perry, and I have a treat for you today. It is an interview I did with one of our community members named Melanie Maxwell, and I just need to tell you the story behind it before we jump in, because this is one of the most inspiring interviews I've ever done. And actually, when I finished, I ran downstairs and I said, Eric, this was amazing. I felt so rejuvenated and inspired and happy, and especially happy to be able to share it with you so that you can have the same success that Melanie had. Now, she posted some before and after photos in the Facebook group that we have for our Steps to Everyday Productivity community. These are people who felt like they were drowning in piles, and it could be mental clutter, it could be digital clutter, it could be just feeling like, there's so much to do, or sometimes it is physical clutter. In Melanie's case, she had a lot of piles that were basically preventing her from living her life. Even one of her piles that literally, it brought me to tears to see what she did with it. She had a bedroom that was just covered where you couldn't even see the bed. And she said, I haven't slept in my bed for a long time, but tonight I am. And she shows this picture of this beautiful bedroom, totally clear and clutter-free, that she had created. And I saw that and just thought, okay, I've got to get to know this lady, because then she continued to post photos of her kitchen and her dining area and sharing what was happening with her family. And when I scheduled the call with her, I thought, hey, we're just going to talk for a minute about the program or about, her change and how she's organized. I get on the call with her, and it is this amazing, amazing woman who had to fight for this. She didn't have everything easy. She's working multiple jobs. She's a single mother. She has children that she's trying to care for and help prepare them for college. And she was literally drowning in the piles, but she got out and she stayed out. She's maintained it. She's going to share with you exactly what she did, how she went through the process, how she actually made it work. And if you want to go through the same training that Melanie went through, the free training here on our website, it's LearnDoBecome.com/step. But please listen to Melanie's interview. Listen to how energetic she feels. Listen to how she learned how to overcome her challenges. And then come leave a comment on our website, LearnDoBecome.com/episode 43. That's just the word episode and the numbers 43. I won't talk anymore because you just got to hear it from her. Enjoy. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you on the other side. Thank you so much for being with me today, Melanie.
And thank you for having me.
I have been so impressed by your pictures. I can't even tell you. I have them sitting right in front of me. We saw you posted these inside of the Facebook group for our STEP program. And as I watched these before and afters, and you posted some of them separately, so I didn't know it was the same person. I just saw all these awesome before and after pictures coming up. And I thought, okay, this is amazing. You've done a beautiful job. So first of all, a huge congratulations and pat on the back for that.
Thank you, because you're the reason. So,
well, I feel like we're here to help maybe be the catalyst, but you're the one who did the work. And so what I want to do today is just invite you to tell your story. I want to hear about you. I want to hear about your life and what was feeling overwhelming. And let's just kind of go back to the clutter. Let's just talk about where you were before you came into touch with Learn, Do, Become. But yeah, tell me a little bit about you, your background, your life, and what was going on.
Okay. So busy mom, single mom of teenagers / now gone off to college. I have a son that still lives at home that's in college right now.
And how many children do you have?
I have 3. Okay. One's grown and gone.
Okay.
I have a 20-year-old son who's in college but lives going local, so he lives at home. And then my daughter, who's a senior this year, she's 17,
awesome,
about to go to college. So,
okay, so yeah, a lot of activity going on in the family.
Crazy, yes. And until January, I was working 2 or 3 jobs trying to make ends meet as a single parent. So very busy.
Yeah.
Very little time at home. And as I've said before, I felt like we were always just doing the come home, drop and run, like
Yeah.
just home long enough to make another big mess and leave.
And then you probably didn't want to be in the mess and be there very long because there was just a lot of stuff.
The messes just kept piling on top of one another.
Yeah.
And it was hard to blame anybody because I felt like guilty trying to tell the kids, well, you need to, do this and do that. And what kind of example am I setting if I can't even do it? So how could I fuss at them?
Well, but the thing is, when I look at your before pictures, I mean, it's not like you had piles of dirt in your house. It was like food items and just boxes and cups from, just things. Yeah. I mean, it was just stuff that everybody has. So
everyday stuff.
Super normal. Mail. So
it exploded,
Totally. And so what did you do though? Like, I mean, I know some of it you'd be, clean up, obviously, like you'd throw trash away or kind of basic stuff. But then what was happening with the piles? Like, were you losing things? Were you digging through piles?
Constantly. Absolutely.
Like, how much time of your life was it taking?
Probably several hours a week for sure.
Just looking for things,
moving things around. That were always lost.
Okay. Yeah. And that was you and your children, right?
Yes.
Because I'm guessing in their rooms, they probably had similar things. This is how I grew up. I mean, I'm looking at the photos. I'm like, that was my room. Just piles everywhere.
And the sad thing is, it's like that throughout most of the house. The only room that we kind of could keep a little bit under wraps was the main living area, which is
to have a little room.
Only because if anyone stopped by, at least it wouldn't be like, there were piles there. They just weren't like overwhelming.
Yes.
So they were off to one side, a little corner. Like it always looked like we were in the middle of doing something,
Right. No, those are the piles we used to cover with our blankets when people would come over. We would just have the blanket pile. But if somebody ever came over to your house and then they wanted to walk around your house or go use a restroom or something like that, that was probably kind of stressful, right?
Yeah, very stressful, yeah.
But then when you would leave your house to go to an activity or to go to work or to do some things, and you mentioned you're a teacher and you're out and you're helping people, do you feel like you were able to leave your piles and stuff at home, or do you feel like it kind of carried with you, like it kind of weighed on your shoulders? Where were you?
I felt like I always walked around with a weight, in the back of my mind, it's always there.
Yeah.
Pressing, and I would always say, well, I would want to do other things in life, and I'd always feel guilty for not being home taking care of the things I need to take care of here.
Yeah.
But I think I felt a stronger urge to do the things that were calling me outside of the home.
Yeah.
So I had to finally just make a decision that I can't be everywhere all the time. So my jobs, I had to put food on the table. So the jobs would always override the mess.
Sure.
And I became so overwhelmed. I felt paralyzed. Like I didn't even know what to do or where to start.
Yeah. Because if you would try to clean, I mean, I'm sure you had days where you're like, okay, we're going to pick something up.
We're going to tackle this house this weekend. By golly, no, we're all home. Every now and then we'd have a day where all of us would be home. Yeah. And I'd say, okay, guys, we're all going to be home. We're going to clean. We're going to get the house really clean,
Yeah, and how would that go?
Well, it's pretty funny. But usually when my kids kind of had their normal little chores that they always had to do, like my son chose dishes and trash for whatever reason. And Rachel was always doing she was supposed to do the tidying and keep her bathroom clean, which was the guest bathroom that people would go to.
Okay.
That didn't always go. Her idea of cleaning. Their idea of clean and my idea of really clean is different.
Right.
But I would have to accept whatever it was because I wasn't there to enforce it. Right.
Yeah.
And then I would come home exhausted. But then on our cleaning day, I would just make piles.
Yeah. Like this needs to go somewhere.
So we just make these neater piles. So we try to just make the piles neater.
That's what I did. Oh my gosh. You were totally telling my story.
And so we just make neat piles. And then within 2 days, it's all spread back out again everywhere. And it's
you gotta find stuff.
We just did all this so we could vacuum and we could get to the clean part. And now we can't see anything again. Like everything's covered up all over.
Well, and I want to hear a little bit about your kitchen table because one of the photos in your after picture was your son sitting at the table, working on homework. So because before, what was the table? Just kind of the catch-all?
The table was just, all right, you talk about landing spots, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
My entire house was a landing spot.
Yeah.
So there was really any horizontal surface was a landing spot. And our table was a huge one. And it was and I also tried to let that be my office. That was so I guess you call it my desk.
Okay.
Because it was where we had the computer.
Yeah.
The kids could work on online homework. I
Pay
could
your
do
bills,
stuff,
do your
do
email.
everything, try to do things there.
Yeah.
And then we try to just push everything over, and for a little while it'll work. And then eventually it just becomes such a big blob and mess, and people's stuff piled on top that there's nowhere to sit to even eat. Like, we could not even eat together.
Yeah. So where would you eat? Just kind of standing up?
We would just kind of either stand, or we would go just sit on the couch or in different parts of the house. And it was really sad.
Yeah. Well, and
I was really sad because I missed having meals together. You know?
Yeah. Well, and then you probably, I mean, I'm trying to think into, like, you know, my internal voice was saying what I would imagine your internal voice was saying. I'm thinking, you know, all this energy you're putting into working 2 or 3 jobs to cover the cost, take care of your family. Like, you're providing a home, you're providing the food, you're providing all this support. Plus, I'm sure there's emotional support that your children needed, and friends and family and work and students. And then after giving all day, to come home and feel like, now I'm in piles. I mean, is that what was going on in your head? Like,
I would, you know what I would do? I would immerse myself in Netflix and my phone and just like escape. Yeah. So I used those things as my escape because I couldn't deal with the piles because it felt too much. Like, I just can't. Yeah. I can't. I just can't.
Well, and you think about it, I mean, like, our brains are only made to be able to process so much information at once. And probably as you're walking around your house and everything you would see was like, oh, I need to do that. Oh, I need to do that. It was just constant reminders, where that's
Very
overload for anybody. And you're already tired because you've been working all day. Like, you're like, what else can I do?
Exactly. And I'm the queen of, I'll just deal with that tomorrow.
Yes, totally. Well, and I can tell just by talking to you, you're like a happy, optimistic person.
Oh, yes.
Like, you care about your family. You care about a lot of things. You're a hard worker. You're not just laying around. Like, you're out there doing things.
No, and actually at school, I'm a lot better. I'm not the most, I am a little bit, I guess you would call me, in the old days, I guess we'd say I was ditzy. I'm a little bit scatterbrained, but it's just my personality type. I'm very outgoing. I'm not depressed. So people would look at my home and think, oh, she's so depressed. Like, I look like a depressed person. I'm really not depressed.
No, I believe it.
I'm actually quite a happy person. And my classroom setting is much more organized. Like, I seem to be able to handle things fine at work. Yeah. It's home that everything's fallen apart. My garage. I mean, listen, those are only just some of my rooms that I've made progress in. I can't wait to share as I keep going through this process. Yes. Because I still have other rooms to share on.
Oh my gosh, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. Like, I can't even tell you. It's like, it's seriously like your story and your pictures are like, these are some of the most inspiring things I've seen because the transformation is huge. I mean, I just hope you can like enjoy that. Like, no, you're like, yes, I know you're still like, oh, I'm working on this and this and this. But I mean, can we just talk about your bedroom for a minute? Because this is amazing. Like, it actually brought tears to my eyes when I saw it show up in my Facebook feed. I was like, oh my goodness. And so the before picture, I didn't even know it was the same room. I mean, other than the color on the wall, you couldn't see the bed. So what had been happening, like, and I noticed there were a lot of boxes. It was just like a lot of just kind of maybe things that you'd ordered online or things you need to put away or like, but what was happening with your room?
A lot of those are empty boxes. I have a box fetish.
Okay. Because keep a box in case you need it.
When you order something or you get something, I'm like, well, you might need that. And Christmas was coming. I said, well, I don't know. I might have some odd shaped things that I need to wrap, or I don't know. I'm weird about throwing away boxes.
No, but every box that you kept, it was some idea of like, oh, I could do something really good with this. Like, I could give a gift.
Or I might need it.
Yes.
And I knew Christmas was approaching, and I don't know. I'm just a weird little person. I say the strangest thing.
Oh, I totally get it. So you'd put it in your room, just in your bedroom. Yeah.
But some of those boxes did legitimately have a lot of stuff in them. Okay. But there were several that were just empty little boxes. Okay. That I've not gotten rid of. But I did have a lot of stuff in some boxes. And I had just, I don't know kind of really how it all started. All I can think of is there was this time when I first moved up here, I had a storage building, a storage unit. And I had to get out of there so that I didn't have to keep paying for the storage unit. Sure. Mm-hmm. Probably about 3 or 4 years ago. And I didn't really have a set place to put everything. It was sort of one of those spur of the moment things. Right. And I'm an artist too on the side, like for fun. And so I had a lot of art supplies, like art crafty. Yeah. So a lot of the stuff landed in my room as like a spot to put some of the boxes. Some's in the garage, some's in the guest room. I have stuff everywhere like this. Like it was a storage building.
Okay.
From when I moved, that I just had a lot of just a lot of stuff.
Yeah, yeah. And you couldn't put it in the garage because that was probably full.
Some stuff didn't need to go in the garage, right?
Okay.
Like I felt like it should be indoors.
Okay. So then the things you really valued, you're like, well, I've got to keep them somewhere.
And I have a lot. Listen, my biggest problem is paper. So a lot of these boxes are full of like papers because I'm scared to throw anything away.
Yeah, because you want to protect yourself from like something.
I don't know. I never know what's good. I'm always looking for something. And let me just tell you, the Freedom Filer, I've gotten the Freedom Filer. I got all that set up.
Awesome.
Do you know that I had not filed my taxes for 2 years and I was getting refunds? Wow. It's not like I owed them money.
Okay.
Out of pure just, you know what I was afraid of? Having to find all what I needed to.
Yeah. Yes.
The hassle of having to even like, where was it buried and all that stuff?
Yeah.
Like, where's the stuff I need to file my taxes? Like,
so then you couldn't get your refunds, right? Until you filed. So it was just money waiting for you.
Yes.
And
so through this system, right before I posted all those pictures, I filed my taxes.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm getting 2 years huge refunds back.
Okay.
Almost $10,000 back.
Oh my goodness.
Because I found the paper, when I did my big paper, pull all your paper stuff together and grab all your papers and ignore everything else.
Oh, this makes me want to cry.
I did my little baskets like y'all said. Like I did it in like the most important was number 1 and number 2, like order of importance.
Yeah.
And anything related to my tax stuff or anything I knew I needed, I've got it all together. Number 4. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I still have a box that's labeled number 4 that's not even urgent stuff.
Yeah, but you're not stressed about it, right?
No, I don't care because I know it's okay.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
I'm so excited. Like that has changed my life.
That is
I'm waiting, for this refund to get here.
You're like, I just earned that. Like you just, you already earned it before, but you just got it back again.
I feel like I should give you also like a percentage.
What? Seriously, just hearing your story is huge. I mean, because I can't even tell you, we've been teaching, like we've taught more than 500 classes online live to people all around the world. And I cannot tell you how many people will say taxes are like one of the biggest stressors. People who haven't paid them in years, same reason. They're like, it's just too much. Like my brain, it's not even worth the brain power for me to try to go through everything because I would feel so stressed out. And so that's such an amazing success story.
Crazy? I'm like, I'm just so crazy. Like that was money that I could have really used as a single mom. Like I lost out on some money last year.
Yeah. And even if it was just the emotional lift that you have now, that's worth it. But when you actually start looking
already better.
That, yes. Okay. Now, I'm still looking at this picture of your bedroom because I want to know when did you stop sleeping in your bed? Like it was
a gradual process. So I would say there was a time when I could still get to the bed and I would just kick the stuff out of the way. And then I think I had started I was going to do something big project thing. Like I was going to clean up some stuff and I piled everything up on the bed to get to something else.
Oh, and you're like, I don't want to take it all off again.
Like, I don't feel like dealing with it tonight. Yeah. And then I got back to I think I had like a couple of days off from those crazy jobs. And then I had to go right back at work and all this crazy job stuff.
You're so tired.
And I was too tired and I just never really had the time to get back to that project that I was going to work on.
Yes.
Of all the stuff on. And I had my bed loaded up and I was like, well, crap. Now I can't.
It's like you're undoing your work because if you think about like getting to bed means I'm undoing it. So I'll just leave it there, which means I've got a bookmark in the project and I can come back. But then you never feel like going back because you're like, I'm so tired.
You lost the spark. You lost the desire.
Your bedroom
so I started sleeping in my recliner in the living room.
Okay, so you're sleeping in the living room, and I've slept in a recliner. I slept in the recliner a lot growing up.
It's not the most comfortable thing for night after night.
Totally, like it's fine for occasions, but every time you turn, and then you're like,
I had the worst neck ache and back ache, and I was so tired.
Oh my gosh, that is. I feel like I could totally relate to you because when I was 9, my grandma moved in, and she needed my room. And so I slept in like the hallway, or I slept on a recliner. Like that's what I did for like a lot of my months growing up. And then when she, got older, then my sister moved out, I got a bed. But like looking now at your after picture, I mean, your bed, the bedroom's beautiful. It's clean, and it's like a queen size bed. Like it's roomy, and you've got pillows and like a nightstand that's clear, and like it's so
I have a life again. I'm a human. I sleep in a bed.
Isn't that funny how even though when you're like sleeping in a recliner, you're like, oh, it's fine. It's a recliner. I can watch TV. I can get out. It's not a big deal. But like when you can actually get in a bed with a blanket and sheets and a pillow, and it's true. It's like, I'm a human. And then your son's sitting at the table. Can you tell a little bit just about what's happened now at the table, and now that's cleared off?
Yes. And I can say with great pride that we have maintained it. Like I could walk out there right now and take a picture.
I love it.
And you can still see we just ate our meal actually. I put a roast in this is how organized I am.
Okay, tell me. I
put a roast in the oven before I went to work this morning. Not in the oven, in the crock pot. With the potatoes and carrots and all that. So it cooked on low. And when I got home this afternoon, the roast was done, falling apart tender, and Logan was hungry. He has to be at class at 5:30 tonight for night class. And he's like, Mom, I'm starving. Can we eat? And I was like, yes, we need to eat early because I've got to do this Skype call. So our table was completely clear. My daughter's pulled out her computer. She's doing some more college application stuff at the table, waiting on me to. Yes. And like our lives are like my kitchen still looks like it did in those pictures.
That is awesome. Oh my gosh.
The after pictures.
Oh my gosh.
Because my before picture, y'all taught me how to clear the stuff. It's more about how to do it. Like what I was doing before was just piling it all back up in another pile.
Yeah.
Neater, but it would just fall apart again.
Yeah. So I wanted to ask, like, what changed? Like, so if you could identify it, because some of the people who are listening to this podcast maybe are already in the program. So they're like, oh, awesome. Okay, I'm going to keep going through it. Some people are like, oh, I don't know, I might want to join someday, but they're kind of on the fence, which we totally get. And we've got our introductory class and all that. But some people are just going to be like, hey, can you just kind of tell me like what you did? Like what was it that kind of did flip the little switch that helped you see, oh, I could do this, and didn't.
What helped me? All right. I'm scrolling through Facebook and I come across y'all's little ad about, are you drowning in piles?
Yeah.
And I said, are these people like have cameras? Okay. So the very first thing was I listened to your first program, the one that's free.
Yeah.
And then I joined.
Okay.
Because y'all had me hooked. I mean, that's it. Like, y'all spoke to me. Like, y'all get me.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like we could be friends. Like,
I think we are friends.
Okay. So I'm like, okay, these people are real. They're not like just trying to sell me some book.
Yeah.
I've tried. Listen, I've tried all kinds of things.
Yeah,
and
I'm
nothing
sure.
sticks.
Well, so like
everything.
What had you tried? Maybe just tell me briefly, like, what did you try? Books or?
Oh, yeah. I've tried self-help books. I've tried little download apps about, here, do this little check off, organize your house in so many days. You know what I mean? Like,
different little programs and stuff like that.
Yeah, nothing really worked. They really stuck.
Yeah.
But your program, because y'all would literally walk you through the step by step, what to do. Mm-hmm. And by listening to that, I did the first module, step 1, and cleared my spot.
Okay.
But I'll tell you what I did. I listened first to everything. Like I like an overview. I'm one of those, I guess being a school teacher, I like to read the chapter first and then go back and dig into it.
Good. Yeah. So you knew what you were getting into.
So I listened to y'all's whole little thing. Mm-hmm. I printed out all my modules. I made myself a little notebook.
Oh my gosh. I love it.
I got all into it. And then while I was doing my work, I listened to y'all.
Okay.
So y'all are there talking to me while I'm doing what I'm doing.
All the
so
audio,
it's like reinforcing everything.
Okay.
It's like I'm studying for something. Yeah. And I'm really just making sure I'm getting it.
Okay.
And so that way, if I'm like in an area of when I'm working on like module 1 and y'all say something, I'm like, oh yeah, that's what it is they said I was supposed to do. So I can stop what I'm doing and do it the right way, you know, or your way.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And then I found your other podcast channel, your LearnDoBecome channel. Mm-hmm. So that when I had gotten to where I'd listened to everything through the modules, then I would just play y'all just talking like you do now, so that I could just have motivation. Like it kept me motivated.
Like just friends who are there with you while you're moving through it.
Be company while I'm doing this, going through the work, So what I did was I did what she said first. I cleared my space, and I had to determine where I was going to set up my command central. And you saw my mess.
Yeah.
Like, where am I supposed to do this? Because the kitchen table is not going to work anymore.
Yeah, right.
It's not practical there.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, well, my bedroom's big. I could do it there. And I've got that old desk, that library table. My grandma's, that'd make a good desk, And I was like, but it's all the way over there on the other side of that mess. I don't know how I'm going to move it, but I got to clear a spot to move it. So I decided, and I set my date, and I put a date on the calendar. I knew I was going to be off that weekend, and I set a date with myself, and I said, you're going to do it, and you're going to start this day. And I got myself mentally prepared for it. So it was like a mental thing for me. I had to really get there.
But you'd gone through the training. You'd gone and you listened and you read through it before you set the date.
Yes.
Okay, so that way when you set the date, you weren't like stepping into this unknown. You were about to do what you were prepared to do. Okay, I love that. Oh my gosh.
I am ready. Here we come.
Okay.
It's like I had put on my little, boots, and I don't know.
You're so cute. Okay, so then what did you do that day? So you woke up that morning, take me through this first day you started.
Okay, so yes, I set my date, and I said, okay, today's the day. I'm going to do my thing. And I even told my kids I'm going to do this. And they said, yeah, right, Mom. Because they know I've tried a million things and nothing works. So they just think I'm crazy. And I got to where I don't even tell them what I'm doing anymore. Because
just do it.
So I just did it. I said, whatever. So I'm just letting y'all know. And they're like, okay, Mom.
Here's what I'll be doing. Yes. That's so cute.
So if so anyway, so I just dug in there. I said, okay, well, I got to clear a spot. And they say, don't worry about, because I'm bad about getting sidetracked about what's in a box.
Sure.
And so, but you said, don't worry about that. You just clear the spot. Just push the stuff over. Yeah. Well, I had to push stuff out into my house because my bedroom was so full of stuff. So I actually had to push it out of the bedroom and into some other parts of the house.
Yeah.
And made another pile out there.
Yep.
But
it's
I knew I was going to get to it.
It was temporary.
Yes. Temporary. And so I could clear off that little desk thing that I'm now using as my desk. I was able to clear a path in my bedroom to slide that piece of furniture over to the wall where I wanted that to be.
Okay.
And move the other piece of furniture that was here to the other side. So that was my first step, was to clear a path so I could move to where I knew my command center was going to be.
Yes.
And so I mentally knew where it was going to go. And then my file cabinet, I was using as a bedside table on the other side of my bed.
Okay.
So I moved it over here by my desk thing.
Okay.
I didn't need a bedside table over there because that's not even where I lay.
Yeah.
So
okay.
That worked out fine. So anyway, so I figured out, and I had all the stuff I needed. I didn't have the only thing
I got it.
Was that little. I bought a cheapy cardboard one.
Okay.
For my, what do you call it?
Like the cubbies?
Yes, for the cubbies.
Okay. For current project support stuff.
I could afford for now.
Yeah, awesome.
Okay with it. I would like a little better quality, but it works fine.
Yeah.
For now. Eventually, that'll be my little prize for myself.
I love that.
Better. Anyway, so that's what my first step was to do. Literally what you said to do was to clear a spot. And I pushed everything over. I cleared my little spot and I vacuumed it and everything. I called my daughter in. I said, come look. You could see the floor in my bedroom and you could see this clear spot. And she's like, wow.
Oh,
you really did something. And I said, I need y'all to help me move this piece of furniture because that one piece of furniture was really heavy. And I said, I need y'all to help me move it.
Yeah.
And so they did. And I was like, wow, Mom, you're really moving. You're really doing something. I was like, yeah, I told you I'm serious.
Oh my gosh. Okay, but just that story alone, just that part of it, it's like you're giving hope to them too, because for a child who's growing up in piles, because that was me, when I would see my mom discouraged, like it hurt me at a level I couldn't articulate at the time, because here you're like, this is my mom I love, and she's so sad. And she's so stressed and she's so overwhelmed and we can't find anything. And I didn't know how to help her because I'm like, 9, 10, 11. I'm just a little girl.
Exactly.
And when you see your parent then making that progress, oh my gosh, that's huge what you just did.
Yeah. And so it's motivated them as well.
That's awesome.
It's all kind of spread out. It's like a little, what do you call it?
Like a ripple?
Like contagious.
Yeah.
So now everybody's trying to stay clean and keep things nice.
Oh my gosh. Because it doesn't feel as overwhelming for them to just tackle their room. If the whole house is looking good, they're like, okay, I can do the same principles in my room or something like that.
Yeah.
So how long did it take you to get your Command Central set up? Like you had that first day. I mean, was all of it done in one day? What did you do? How did you move forward?
Weekend. So what I did then was I cleared my space, moved those pieces of furniture, and kind of got the skeleton part of the Command Central set up. I didn't have all the pieces yet, but I had the big piece of furniture, had determined where my file cabinet was going to be, and that was going to be the spot. Okay. Yeah, so that was one day. Okay. And then the next day, I was so motivated. You
have all this progress
I began to tackle the rest of my bedroom as far as like realizing that, I can go through a lot of this stuff. It's going to have the papers that she's talking about I'm going to need to gather. I kind of got to that point where it was like, I had to do the gathering, of all my stuff because I'd gotten all my tools. I knew I had all the tools I needed. Yeah. And I had pretty much set up my system. Like I was in real estate at one time, so I had a lot of the like little file things. I had a lot of things holding papers and files and all that stuff. So I got those set up, and then I was like, and then it says gather your stuff, and so I did that thing that y'all talked about with the papers where you put the most important ones in order, like of importance, and you labeled them. I had little baskets and I had made little index cards and stuck it to each one.
Oh my gosh, awesome. So you knew here is like most important.
Level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4. Yeah. Okay. So I laid them all out in the kitchen floor, let me tell you, because that's where I needed the most space, because it was the most space. But I couldn't still do much in my bedroom. And so I went through everything that I knew had papers in it. And I have them everywhere, let me just tell you. I had papers everywhere. Yeah. And I gathered up. I had papers everywhere, and I had a file cabinet with nothing in it.
Oh, okay. So really, you had the container ready. You're like, this needs to change. We're going to transition.
This is crazy. I mean, I tried to move my file cabinet from the other side of my bed to be part of my whole system, and I realized the thing's empty, and I'm like, okay, there's
oh my gosh. But see, that makes so much sense, because you wouldn't want to just stick piles in a filing cabinet. Like, that's not going to help anything. So there's no point to move it into it until you're ready to yeah. Okay.
Right. And so I then gathered up all my papers, like you said. So that took care of a lot of the piles of paper around the house. Okay. So I did that.
What'd you do with your boxes?
What'd I do with what?
The boxes.
Oh, the boxes. A lot of boxes became empty. Okay. And so they became available to refill with stuff I was going to donate. Okay. So then I did the donate elsewhere.
Yes. Yeah. The 3-box method or whatever. Got that stuff out.
The 3-box method. I did that, and then I did trash. So I did that in my kitchen. That was a different day that I actually did my kitchen. Remember you asked how I got the kitchen table there?
Yes. Okay.
That was a different day, but same concept. Okay. So it was, I did the 3-basket method basically there. 3-box method.
Oh my gosh.
In the kitchen. Yeah. I went through and got all the trash, and we just threw that in the trash can. Yeah. And then I went through and decided what belonged in another room. And what I did was I made a pile for my son, a pile for my daughter, and a pile for me. Okay. That belonged in our rooms.
Okay. So you kind of knew how
to us personally. Like, that's her sock, that's her pin, that's her, you know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah. Her hairband, her fingernail polish, whatever, anything that belonged to her, my daughter, I put in her pile, and then my son's pile in my pile. And then at the end of that, I said, okay, Logan, go put your stuff up. This is yours. It goes somewhere. I don't care where, but it's not going to be in the kitchen.
For right now, we're just getting out of the kitchen.
Right now, you just stick it in your domain.
Yes.
I'm not going to deal with y'all's domain yet. We're dealing with this domain. So that's how I looked at it. Yeah. It's going to help me, because it's like, okay, I don't have to deal with all of it right this minute. Yes. I'm dealing with this area right now. Yeah. And then I was left with what belongs in the kitchen, which is the food that we had brought home from the grocery store. I didn't know what to do with it all because we don't have a pantry. Okay. Okay. So then I started clearing out a cabinet to make it a pantry. I rearranged how we're using our cabinets and furniture to make pantry space out of it.
Okay. Awesome.
So that kind of spurred that on. And so therefore I have ended up clearing out all of some furniture that was being used for nothing but piles. Let me tell you, that's where I'd hide stuff. Piles just hiding in there. So I cleared out and when you said go get all your papers, they were in there. They were in that furniture. So that's where I pulled those papers. So anyway, so that cleared out a lot of the cabinets. And so I said, okay, we're going to just totally go through. And that took like the whole weekend to do everything.
So,
I got a roll.
So just going in order, like telling you, because I mean, you have so many pictures of like showing your progress. So you did bedroom, like dining room, kitchen, or what order did you go through?
Yeah, it was bedroom. It was the command central in my bedroom.
Okay.
Because that motivated me to have the bed to sleep in.
Sure.
Like once I got my command central set up, I was like, oh, I got this part of my bedroom done. You know, where I could get to that bed.
I could sleep there again.
I could sleep there tonight.
And how long had it been since you slept in your bed?
It's been several months.
Oh, wow. Okay. So this is a big deal.
Very big deal. Yeah.
Very big deal. Okay. So then you did your bedroom and then kitchen?
And then I moved to the kitchen dining.
Okay. Dining room. Okay. So they could have the table. Right. All the space out there. Okay. Right. And then that's where you are right now? Or whatever.
That's all done.
Okay.
That's pretty much maintaining now. It's maintaining itself.
Okay.
My laundry room was the next thing.
Okay.
You could not. I have a before of that. I haven't shown y'all yet.
Okay.
I'm not quite done. Because there's still one little area that I want it to look just right. You know?
I get it.
And so I'm going to do my after picture when I get that part ready.
Okay.
Because there's one pile still that's not my pile, and I keep waiting on my son to take it. Okay. I'm going to have to do something about it because I'm like, that pile is supposed to be off of there. But anyway, so it's a pile of clean laundry that belongs to him, but I'm refusing to do it for him.
Okay. No, that's good. You're teaching them independence. Yeah. So tell me what's been your conversation with your children as far as like teaching them what you're doing or showing them the methods, or have they been, I'm sure they've been asking some questions because they're seeing your bedroom and watching, or maybe it's just more observing. What do you feel like?
Actually, my daughter got in there with me.
Okay.
In the kitchen and dining and said, okay, Mom, what does it say to do now? Like, what are you trying to do? And she goes, oh, well, how does that, she goes, okay, well, I think I could do that. I might try to do that in my room.
Oh my gosh. So it was her idea.
Yeah. So she's trying to work on it. She's been a very busy senior this year trying to get a lot done, and she's in the band. So, but marching band is over, so she doesn't have as much band practice, but she also works part-time.
So she's busy too, right? She's tired and she doesn't.
I'm not putting any pressure on her. If she wants to do what I've learned or what I've figured out about myself is I have to let it be their idea.
Yeah, for sure.
I can't make them do what I'm doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. I just need to work on me and what I need to do, and I'm hoping it'll just bleed over into them, which it is doing. Yeah. And they're maintaining really well. And she said, Mom, now that we've got the house all clean, it wouldn't be hard at all to keep it this way.
Oh, my gosh.
And I said, no, honey, it won't be. It's going to be much easier. She goes, yeah. She goes, and you know what? What we should do is we should make sure every night before we go to bed that we kindly but very nicely say, if someone's got their stuff left out, hey, you need to pick up your cup. You need to pick up your stuff, but don't be mean about it.
Yes,
we're not a mean little family. We're
I can tell. And that's how I grew up too. It's like our family loved each other so much. Yeah. We just had all these piles, and and I think that's almost like the worst situation to be in, because it's like all these nice people who deserve a nice place. We're just like so stressed out. Okay, I love that. And so what do you find is a difference in maintaining it, or how are you maintaining it? It's just every day you're just
every day. It's just easy.
Okay.
It's just easy. Okay, my routine is every day at night, for sure, before I go to bed, I make sure that and Logan's job is dishes. Like, his job is usually to do the dishes.
Yeah.
And the trash.
Okay.
And at 20 years old, and he's been doing this since he was in middle school.
Awesome.
And I still have to remind him. I don't know what
Eric
it is.
And I just had that conversation this morning. We're like, if we don't tell them every day,
they'll never do it. I'm like, are you ever just going to do it because it needs doing? Or do I have to remind you still?
We get it. We totally get it.
I don't know if they ever outgrow this. I don't know. But his job is normally dishes. Now, however, if he had class tonight, or he was gone that night or something, but I will go behind now and make sure that There's no dirty dishes in the sink.
Nice.
So I like to wake up in the morning to the clean sink. I'm liking that.
Yes, I love
it makes me feel good. And I told them, I said, you'll get Mom to cook a lot more if the kitchen stays clean, because I can't stand to cook in a dirty kitchen.
Oh, so that's
an
incentive
I was never
for them.
cooking. We were eating out all the time. I've saved a ton of money just by cooking at home now.
And you're making like nice food.
And
like
I'm making food. Like yesterday, we had a snow day that it didn't end up snowing. We got that winter storm for Atlanta area that you heard about probably that didn't end up happening.
Okay.
Biggest joke of the century. But so we had no school day for all three of us.
Okay.
And I very selfishly stayed in my pajamas all day.
I love it.
But I cooked us grilled cheese sandwiches and soup for lunch, and I made spaghetti with salad and garlic bread for supper. We played a game of Yahtzee. Rachel worked on her more of her scholarship stuff, like trying to get get all that stuff done for scholarships for college. I worked on a little bit of stuff for school stuff. We just enjoyed ourselves, but the house was not a disaster. Now, I could have really probably tackled a big step project like I started to, and I was like, well, this was not planned, and I kind of like the idea
I love that.
Just relax.
You could just relax. Because tell me, what would have happened if, let's say it was several months ago before you'd come into step and you had a snow day? What would that have looked like?
I probably would have, since it didn't snow, I probably would have escaped by going shopping. If I had an excuse to go shopping just to get out of the house. Yeah. Because I wouldn't want to stay here.
And what about the kids? What would they have done?
They probably would have, Rachel would have gone with me. Mm-hmm. Logan would have probably just played some video games or something. And been a blast to
this gives me chills because I'm thinking like, you guys spent the day together, enjoying, relaxing. And shopping's fun, but relaxing in your pajamas all day and having meals with your family and playing Yahtzee. I mean, that's memories that you have to enjoy now, right?
Exactly. That's what I keep saying.
She won't have them all the time.
Exactly. They're about to be gone. Like really and truly in the fall, both of mine will be gone. Yeah. Like I'm going to be a true empty nester all at once. It's going to be so sad.
Well, but then they'll come back. Oh my gosh. Well, and that's when I did a podcast with Lori in our program, and she's a grandmother, and she said, my grandbabies before couldn't come over because there was so much clutter and they couldn't crawl around and, they'd put things in their mouth and things. But she's like, now I have, one room that's totally clear with nothing on the floor, and my grandbabies can come crawl around. And, so it's like now you have an environment where your family will want to come back. Right?
Exactly. And their friends can pop over, and I'm not totally embarrassed. I'm not always making excuses for, I'm so sorry, just ignore the mess. I mean, we're never, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like I was always making excuses for why the house
even though most of your friends probably get it, because most people have like piles around the place.
I didn't realize that. I have a lot of friends who apparently aren't like me.
Okay.
Because I'm like, how do they keep their house so nice all the time? Like, I don't understand people like that.
No, I get it. Because I did have friends where I could go over to their house and it was like always clean. And they would come to my house and I just wouldn't even want to invite them in because it was like, well, my house doesn't look like yours. But what I found is having piles is super common. I mean, because most of us just weren't taught what to do,
Exactly.
But then tell me, did it seem confusing that when you came in the program, we weren't just teaching you like, okay, here's what you do in the bedroom, here's what you do in the kitchen, like that we were focusing on a command central? Did that seem weird?
I thought, what has that got to do with anything?
Why are we filing papers and making cubbies? And
what is the deal with all this? And I will say I'm still struggling because it's so different for me to have an office set up at the home, like a true like command central.
Yeah.
And because I've been working, I guess I focused a little too much on my decluttering portion of things.
No, that's awesome.
So I haven't mastered this whole weekly review thing very well.
That's all right. We've got some new stuff coming. Well, I actually just recorded a brand new module for that. We're updating the program. So you will have all that new stuff. But
awesome.
But I think but the concept of things like prioritizing a project, figuring out next actions. Did you start using things like that when you were building?
Yes, I'll have to say that if you can do it in 2 minutes or less, do it.
That was huge.
Has been a game changer.
That's awesome.
the landing spots and having a definite spot for where things go when they come in. The mail, we have been handling mail so beautifully now.
Good.
It's been wonderful. Like, there's been no question. There's no more piles of mail piling up.
Yes.
And everything piling up on the... It's just been wonderful. And they know I do have my little inbox right here. When you open my bedroom door, my inbox is right here on this little desk. And I tell them, I said, just bring any mail for me. If I'm not here, just pop it on my
right here
in that inbox because I'll deal with it. You know what I mean?
I love it. I need to see a picture of your desk. I don't think I've seen a picture of your desk, but at some point
I will. I'll let you see it.
Okay, you're so cute. So then tell me how you feel. Like, we were talking about the internal voice before, where you didn't want to be home. You're feeling like, I'm already tired. There's so much stuff, and just feeling like I'm not a person even. Tell me now.
I'd kind of given up. Like, I just was to that. I was like, I don't even care anymore. Like, I didn't like being there.
Yeah.
In that place in my mind. Like, I can't even care. Like, I can't even get motivated. Like, I used to could spur myself on. Like, I could come up with some idea to try to motivate myself.
Yeah.
Like a reward at the end or something I could do. Like, oh, you should do this. And then that'll motivate me to clean something, you know. I couldn't even get there. So I had been searching for months, actually, for some sort of motivation. I had been downloading audiobooks, like from self-help, like motivational stuff, or just anything. Like, I don't know, just all kind of little audiobooks on trying to feel motivated.
Yeah.
And I'd read, I'd listen, I'd be like, yeah, that sounds good. You know, whatever.
Yeah.
But it's just not penetrating.
Right.
I honestly have to say, as I was laying in my little chair, scrolling through Facebook, there comes this little bright smile saying, "Are you trying to house?" Yes, I am. What is this about? And then there it is. And I mean, this program just spoke to me. Like, it is just so perfect. Like, the way it's designed is for people like us that live in piles.
Yeah.
It's something about this mentality, this type, I don't know. I could think a lot of people, apparently, I didn't believe it until I saw y'all's Facebook, you know, our little step group.
Yeah.
When I saw other people had piles,
thousands
I was like,
of people.
I'm not the only one. Like,
I know.
I'm not the only one.
Oh my gosh.
This is awesome.
It is. And I love the group because I think it's one of the most supportive groups of people, non-judgmental. They're like, you know what? And they're to celebrate you. Like, even people who were just posting before, they're like, good for you. Yeah. You're here. You're going to do it. And it's so awesome.
I was so embarrassed to post mine, but I felt safe to post.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I felt like I could and not be like I was going to get torn to shreds by people saying, well, how could you live like that? Or who in the world? You know what I mean? Like, I would never put that on regular Facebook.
Right. Because it's just, I mean, you know, and obviously it's like no one wants to air their dirty laundry or be like, oh, look at my weaknesses or whatever, you know, because you have so many strengths and there's a lot of good things going with your family and your work and the stuff you're doing. But then to just know that you don't have to live in that anymore. Like, I think that there's this element of where you kind of start to die inside when you feel like no matter how much I do, it's not going to go away. And I can work all weekend and be exhausted and it still will come back. I mean, there's just, you start like losing hope that any efforts can do something.
I have gotten there. I was like, okay, then the kids are going to be moved out and then what?
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to be left with all this mess and what am I going to do with it all?
No, totally.
They don't even care. They don't want it.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, maybe I should just light a match and just burn it all down and start scrap. You know?
And you know what? That is such a common thing. People are like, maybe I should just burn it all and have a big fire. But the thing is, you know, it would be so much more work because the things that you would need for XYZ, you'd have to go redo. I mean, you know, in your mind, obviously we never want anyone to light anything on fire, but
I would never do that.
But when people even say, oh, I wish I could just throw it all away and just get a dumpster, but like, you really can't. And that's, I think that spot where you're in, where you're like, I don't know how to move forward, but I can't just throw it away. Like I just have to sit in it like, this is just my lot in life to sit in my piles until I die in them. And then my grandkids will have to go through and sort through it all, you know?
Exactly. And I'm like, I don't want to do this to them, my children, my future grandchildren.
Yes. And
they should be able to come visit me and see me, not this pile.
Oh my gosh. That is exactly it. Because it's like you need that space, that clear space. And like, you created it. Like, you're doing it. You've done it. And oh my gosh. Okay. So I'm so proud of you. Maybe just one more question. What would you say to someone who's living in the piles right now, either mentally or physically? Because some people, like, their houses are clean, but their mind is full. You know, their mind feels like that.
Great.
Yes. Like, so what would you say to someone who's just sitting in the piles and they're like, is this too good to be true? Like, what would you say?
It's not too good to be true. I felt that same thing because like I said, I've tried various things, various methods to try to overcome some of my clutter and disorganization and piles. So absolutely, this program will work. And all you have to do is do the first thing, clear that space, that first little space. And it's like that by itself is sort of like opens you up so that you can move forward. Like I don't know, it's like it sparks like this little, it lights a little fire, like a pilot light.
Yeah.
For the furnace. You know what I mean?
Yes. Like, gets it all going.
It does.
It's like that catalyst.
And you realize you can do it. Like, if you can do that little space, then you can do another little space and another little space. And before you know it, a lot of space has been cleared. And the command central is awesome. Like, you know, it's all perfect. It's just wonderful. So and I just wish I was perfect at using it. Like, I am so not done.
You're so cute.
I've got so much to do and so far to go.
But it's a journey, and you're here with a community, and there's no rush. Like, people will say,
and
like,
you know what else I'd say?
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Forgive yourself because, you know, you get there. You didn't get there fast. It's a slow process to get where you're at. And it's going to be a slow process to get out of it. Yeah. But not as slow.
Right.
I think getting out of it's a little faster than you realize. And you decide how fast you go.
Yeah.
And the other beauty of it is, all right, I did all that clearing because my oldest daughter was coming up to visit and she had not been here for a year.
Okay.
And at that time, well, it'd been over a year since I've been sleeping in that chair because last time she was here, she knew I was sleeping in my recliner. Okay.
So a year. Over a year.
She walked in the door. She goes, "Oh my gosh, it's so tidy and clean." So
is that like payday right there?
Yeah. And the fact that we've been able to maintain, and she realized too that it wasn't just piled up and hidden somewhere. Like it had been dealt with.
She's like looking under the beds. Where did it all go?
Like it actually got dealt with. So it was really nice. But anyone can do this. I mean, really and truly, just forgive yourself.
Yeah.
And just set yourself a date, like make a date with yourself and agree that you're going to just start.
Yeah.
And that's been the hardest part, was just starting.
Yeah.
You know.
But I love that you went through and you got all the information so you could begin with the end in mind. Like, you knew you were going to get out. And I think that's what I think inspires anyone with change. When you know, like, I actually have the capability of doing this. I'm not going to get stuck. There's going to be no limbo. I'm not going to get everything out and then have to stay in the recliner for another year. Like, you knew. No, you knew. Right. This is going to go away. And I have the power to do it. And I don't have to buy anything else. Like, I can use what I have and I can work with it. And like what you're showing your kids. And then now, I mean, when you open the door and when you came home today and smelled your food in the crock pot and your house is clean, I mean, how would you even describe that?
Oh, it was so rewarding.
That's awesome.
And I felt really proud.
Yeah.
Like, Rachel was with me. She rode with me today. A lot of times she drives herself, but she wanted to ride with me today. So we rode home together. And when she got to the door, to open the door to the house, she goes, "Mom, smell. You can smell the roast cooking." Like, before you could even open the door, you could smell it, like, coming through the cracks in the door, I guess, as we're walking through the garage.
Yes, I love that. We love that.
She goes, oh, Mom, smell the roast. It smells so good. So she goes, Logan, how did you stand being here all day with that roast cooking? Just eat it, And so it was so nice because they walk in and the house is like, Logan's friend popped in the other day and I said, well, I won't be here. That day I went to Atlanta with my friends and his friend was coming by to see him and he had not been here since I had done my major decluttering. So I wish I could have been here to see what that friend thought. No, and he's a guy, so he probably
didn't even know.
But I bet he had to think something.
Yes, yes.
I wish I could have been here for that.
And even if all you would see is a friend coming in and just sitting down and relaxing, like
exactly.
That's reward right there because it's like, I'd watch my friends who'd walk into my house and they wouldn't know where to sit or they'd come in my room and I'd be like frantically cleaning, trying to like shove things aside so they would have a place to sit in my room.
Yep.
And just to be able to have someone like walk in like, hey, this is a normal house and I'm a normal person and I'm sitting at your table. I mean, that's like magic when that happens. Oh my gosh.
And I find myself too now, like just by nature, when I get up to go to another room or to the kitchen or whatever, I'll take something with me. Like I'll just grab something that I know doesn't belong. I'll be like, oh yeah, that wrapper got left out or, well, you know what I mean? And I don't even care if it's mine or not. But it's easy to see what's out of place because the house is clean.
Yeah. And then you wake up in the morning, and there's probably a big difference in how you feel when you wake up too.
Absolutely.
I mean, first of all, you're in your bed, which is nice. But then it's like
good rest. And I wake up feeling, I don't even know what the word is, but I go in there to my clean kitchen and I make my cup of coffee and it just feels peaceful.
Yeah.
I guess. There's like a peace.
Mm-hmm.
The stress is not there.
Mm-hmm. Because life will still have stress. But when you can take out the stress related to piles, it's like you can manage the other stuff.
Exactly. Then I can deal with the stress that's more important than piles. I don't know that the piles aren't important. I don't mean it. More urgent, I guess.
Yeah. Right.
That's the problem with piles because they can seem not so urgent. And so you just tend to want to push them aside.
Yeah.
And do like I did for years and just escape into other realities like shopping or Netflix.
Yeah. Well, it's true. And I was talking with Eric. I heard this quote that said, it was talking about taking retreats. And I think I would add the same thing. I think what you did, going through the program, taking time to build a command center, I actually would call that a retreat because you're pulling out of your normal life. But the author that I was reading, he was saying, the fewer intentional retreats we take, the more unintentional escapes we make. And I'm like, that is so true. Like if you don't intentionally go and take this retreat and take care of yourself and learn and implement what you're learning and, these types of things we're talking about, you're just going to unintentionally escape because it's not that you don't want to be present with your family. It's not that you don't want to do awesome things with your life. It's just that your brain physically can't handle so much at a time. But
exactly.
You've made it work. You are a hero, Melanie, really. I am so impressed and so excited. And I'm excited you're still on the journey. And so we're still together.
Yes, we are. And I'm sorry I haven't posted much because
no, you're good.
I had my family, my daughter come up for that week right after Christmas, the holidays.
That's so awesome.
Then I was sick with that bad cold that was going around. And then school started back. And it's been a little bit crazy as far as, and now my job's full time. And so a lot of things have changed in my personal life. And in a good way, a positive way, not a bad way. But I am looking forward to, now my weekends I feel like are more productive. Like I'm able to actually tackle some things because I don't have to spread myself so thin with all these jobs.
Yeah.
And so I was going to say my other thing that I got accomplished through this step thing was I did the laundry room and we took like 5 bags of laundry to the laundromat just to get caught up so that we could then maintain, the laundry. I said, there's no way we'll ever catch up on all this doing one load at a time at home. So my daughter and I took and spent like half a day in the laundromat and got that taken care of.
And then what's so impressive too, though, is that even though you've had all this busy time with the holidays and everything going on, that you were able to maintain what you'd already done. I mean, that's huge. That's
what I'm super proud. Listen, I make my bed every day, almost every day. There's been a couple of days I didn't make my bed, but it was very easy. I mean, all I had to do was flop it up.
Yeah.
I can make my bed every day. I mean, it's so nice. And it's so nice to walk into my bedroom. I don't know. It's just it feels like a retreat in here.
Yeah.
And it's still not done. And not to fool anybody, I still have one little area that has a small pile, it has a pile. But
that's
for the whole group of what I had to deal with, I mean, that's good.
I think that's awesome. I think that's awesome.
And then I've taken to the Fly Lady thing you recommended. So I've got, I had done Fly Lady back when my kids were itty bitty, when she first came out years ago.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And just learned about, I had to put on shoes instead of wear my slippers because that would help me clean house better. And I learned a little bit from her years ago, but I lost that book a long time ago in moves and forgot all about it, honestly, until I read your thing. And then you mentioned Fly Lady. And I was like, oh, I remember her.
Yes.
So I just kind of revisited her again.
Yes. And it's so fun because what you learn in STEP, you can now apply what you're learning from all other people and experts who are out there. I've watched all Marie Kondo's Tidying Up on Netflix. I mean, it's awesome. But then when you know how to take what she's teaching and apply it in the context of the STEP program, you're like, oh, I can do that.
And it's totally they can overlap then.
Yes.
And you can take what you need from each thing. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Totally.
Like from Fly Lady and Marie, I can take it and apply it to the STEP.
I love being a soul sister with you, Melanie.
I do too. I feel like even though we're on the opposite ends of the U.S.
Yes, I know.
We're connected, though.
So awesome.
We're soul sisters.
Soul sisters.
Soul sisters. Soul sisters.
You're so cute. Thank you so much for taking time with us today. I so appreciate it.
And I appreciate you letting me. I feel honored that you even asked me. I was like, boy, I must really be
superstar.
I was a mess, let me just tell you. I was a mess. I'm still a mess, but not that bad.
You're doing better. Awesome. Thank you so much, Melanie.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you having me on.
Thank you so much for listening today. Is Melanie not the cutest? I loved having the chance to interview her and hear her story, and she has inspired me so much. And then what happened was yesterday, I had a woman come up to me who said, hey, April, I bought your program a couple of years ago, and I don't even know where I would build a command central. Everything's a mess. I am drowning in piles. I know this will change my life, but I just don't even know what to do. And I said, here's the thing. You need to go listen to Melanie's podcast that I'm going to publish next week. Go listen to her. Listen to how she did it. You can do this. This is going to change your life. And I gave her a few ideas on how she literally could just move the stuff that's next to her bed and build a command central right there. I said, I just started a little card table in the corner of my bedroom. Not a big deal. And she started thinking and she said, okay, you just gave me some ideas. I'm going to go do this. Okay, come do this. Get out of the piles, build your command central, change your life. If you're thinking this is exactly what I need, come to LearnDoBecome.com/step. And we'll show you how to get started. And if you're already organized, you've already built your command central and you're thinking, hey, I'm ready for the next level, come to LearnDoBecome.com/arise, ARISE. And we'll share some resources to help you now learn how to dream again and move forward. And if you haven't done the command central yet, but you're excited to dream again and you want to come anyway, please do. It's open to everybody. We are thrilled to be able to serve you. So LearnDoBecome.com/step is to build a command central, and then /arise, ARISE, is to learn how to really thrive and give back and level up your life. We are thrilled to have you here. I'm so grateful for Melanie for her interview. Hope you have a fantastic day, and we'll see you soon at Learn, Do, Become.